Welcome back to my channel. I'm James, and this channel's all about great movies and great TV series, as always, from all over the world. And today we've got one that took a kind of a long time for me to get in. I was kind of surprised it basically got pushed back with delays and numerous other things, so we'll talk about that a little later on. But today we've got an exciting review that I've been really excited to dive into. So today we're going to dive into Scream, the 25th anniversary edition, and this is the Steelbook edition. And so we're going to do an unboxing and a review on this, but I've got something special for all of you. As all of you have requested, I'm going to be doing my exclusive 4K versus Blu-ray image comparison on this. So I'm going to be comparing it to the previous, basically Miramax and Paramount release that was on Blu-ray, and then showing you screenshot comparisons between what this looks like on this new 25th anniversary edition restoration and remaster versus that Blu-ray edition. So that's something exclusively I do on this channel, so if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button because that's something I do exclusively on this channel. Now, while we're going to go through this 4K versus Blu-ray image comparison, I'm going to do a short movie review, tell you about my thoughts on the movie. We're going to do an unboxing, go through what you get in this set, as well as what you get in the regular edition that doesn't come in the Steelbook. And I'll be going through the differences between this Steelbook and the regular edition, so that way you know the differences between them. And if you decide you're going to want to pick this up after watching my review, I've put the links for both of them in the description section right below this video. As always in every video, I put the links so that way you can pick them up right in the description section right below each video. But I'll go through and show you what the differences are between them. That way you know what you're looking at between those as well. Then I'm going to run down through the specs. As always, I go through and tell you subtitles and all the specs that come in this, as well as the video quality in this. And then at the end, I'm going to wrap it up with my final thoughts and my review score. So make sure you stick around through this whole review. We've got a lot of exciting stuff to dive into about this set. Now, going into this, this is the 25th anniversary, and basically, Paramount Studios went back and did a brand new scan and restoration, which this film desperately needed. And this is one of those films I do enjoy. It's kind of a guilty pleasure horror. I don't know if you want to call it a slasher movie, but it definitely revived. There is some massive differences. And I'll touch on that here for a minute as we're going through this. Now, in this new 4K restoration, they did a brand new color grading, brand new scan, and it really did bring a lot of life to the film, and I've talked about these a lot on the channel recently. I just recently did a review for Misery, and there's a lot of things that are similar in what Paramount did with this versus the previous Blu-ray release from Miramax, and what happened with that Misery review. So if you haven't checked that one out, that one's available on the channel. It's kind of like horror, mystery, thrillers as well. So if you haven't checked those out, they're available to watch on the channel as well. But going into this new Scream, you'll notice that there was a big color shift and a big change because that Miramax, it did look pretty bad before. I mean, I'll be honest with you, that Miramax Blu-ray that I own just looks downright fuzzy, doesn't really colors, saturation, clarity. I mean, to be honest with you, it's probably one of the worst Blu-ray transfers I own on Blu-rays that I currently have. That Miramax was really just downright horrible. Now, this drastically, I mean, they didn't even have to do too much to make this look amazing, but they didn't just stop at that. They really did an amazing scan and restoration with this. For the 25th anniversary, Paramount did a great job. They kept the natural film grain, and that was something I was interested to see if they were going to do, because the original Blu-ray release from Miramax really didn't have good natural film grain in it. It was really DNR'd, it was lacking saturation, and then they had some scenes that were over sharpened, and overall that Blu-ray was just a regular hot mess. I mean, I really think overall that HD transfer they did in that many years ago at the beginning of Blu-ray's releases just really was horrible. Now, for a 1996 film, they can go back and do a new scan, which is exactly what Paramount did with this. And they really did an awesome job with it. I was really surprised when I sat down and started doing my comparisons between this 4K and the previous Blu-ray release from Miramax. It really did drastically change it for the better. This looks great. And they kept the natural film grain in this film, as you're probably noticing through some of these screenshots above. If you look at the characters' faces, for example, throughout the movie, you'll notice there's so much more depth to their skin. Heck, you can even see like zits and things like that that they had under their makeup that they were trying to cover up, which maybe some of you complain saying, hey, I didn't want to see that. But that is the natural way it was. I mean, they did have it. So the image, especially in their skin and their hair. I mean, their hair in the original Blu-ray release, yes, you can really see like some of them had like highlights throughout their hair. Some of the gals in the film had skin, hands down. is a massive upgrade over that previous Blu-ray release. It does look drastically sharper and more enhanced with more crisp details. Lights to darks and contrast stand out so much more. And that's where this new 4K release had so much more added into it that really brought it to life. For example, on the HDR on this, they used HDR10 and Dolby Vision. So, depending on whether your TV and 4K Blu-ray player can play HDR10 or Dolby Vision, it does drastically add a drastic new immersion to the film because of that contrast ratio and the contrast difference between the lights to darks and the many varying shades of color. This makes that old Blu-ray look like trash. I mean, heck, that old Blu-ray almost looked like a DVD in comparison. That's how good this actually looked. I was really blown away by it and really surprised because the 1996 horror films by Wes Craven that really revived the genre. And what I mean by that is he did a good job not making it too gory and not making it too extreme, but adding in some humor and kind of tongue-in-cheek like horror things like, you know, the girl being chased by the maniac and basically falling down and getting up. And it's kind of one of those things that has some like charm to it many years going back and seeing it. And that's why I think this is one of those few horror movies that I still to this day really do enjoy because it's not too extreme for me. And I'll touch on that. It is rated R. So for those of you that haven't seen this and you don't like Texas Chainsaw Massacre or things like that, it is nowhere in the vein of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, thriller horror movie, but it did, in my opinion, a good job without getting in too much into just buckets of gore or guts and just downright disgusting. It did a good job just kind of having, you kind of would see the mystery of the murder and then trying to solve out who it is and what's happening and who's going to get next. And I really felt like it did a good job kind of, just like I said, reviving the genre. And it is one of those classic films that I was excited to see how they did this restoration. Now, the runtime on this film is 111 minutes, so it's a very fast-paced movie. And that's what I think adds to it. It's a very sleek and fast-paced horror thriller that doesn't linger too long on anything. It keeps things moving all along. And it does have humor and comedy as some horror movies. I'm not a big fan of a lot of horror movies that are out there, but this is one of them that I do enjoy and my wife enjoys. And that's why I said it's one of those rare things that I was excited to pick up to see if it was worth adding to my collection. Now, the aspect ratio was not cut down in any way with this new scan. They kept it at the 2.39 to 1, so they didn't change that aspect ratio or cut it down in any way, shape, or form. Always appreciate when the quality of it, keeping it the natural way it was supposed to be. So Paramount didn't change that at all. Now, audio-wise on this, there is a massive plethora of audio options. You get English, DTS, HD Master Audio 5.1, and that was a great mix on it. It sounds crisp. I mean, if you know the movie, it has a lot of like these horror sounds behind it of the knife slashing, glass breaking, people screaming, and the girls screaming it are very shrill, but it keeps it at that level where it's not like crackling your speakers. It just sounds very crisp and clean and clear. So the audio mix in this was great. Now, it does have a massive list of other audio options. In that same DTS HD Master Audio 5.1, it does get German as well. 2.0 mix, which is Dolby Digital 2.0, it gets dozens of others. It gets Spanish, French, Italian, Japanese, Russian, and several others. Come with subtitles as well. You get your English, your French, your German, your Italian, Japanese, Portuguese, Spanish, Danish, Dutch, and that's just to name a few. There was about at least another dozen to almost 15 more subtitle options that were available in this. And that's where I'll touch on this. It is region free. So in this disc that's in here, it is region free. So the good news is no matter where that Amazon link will ship anywhere in the world. So if you can't get a hold of this in your country, you're having issues because of all the delays or because of the manufacturing issues, I will have the link listed down below in the description section below. It's been coming in and out of stock. So if you're wanting to pick it up on, you just have to keep checking those links over and over. It'll come in stock and then you got to order it right then. So just make sure, check through those links below. I'll have both editions of it that if you're wanting to pick up one or the other, they'll be listed down there. Now, I have something I'm going to cover real quick with all of you, so make sure you stick around. We've got a lot more to go into on the unboxing and then to talk about some other full, early, and exclusive videos for you to watch here on my YouTube channel. So there are two ways you can help to support this YouTube channel. Right below each video, there's a super thanks button for you to click. It has a heart symbol on it and looks like this. When you click that super thanks button, all that goes right back into this YouTube channel. And that shows me and everyone how much you appreciate all the time and hard work pieces that I talk about. Make sure to go down to the description section right below this video. I have made it nice and easy for you and done all the work for you. And I've included the love given to me over the years. And I just want to say thanks. Also, make sure to give this video a like, give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to click the subscribe button and special, early, and exclusive videos that I release here on my YouTube channel. So make sure to subscribe. All right, we've got a lot more to cover and a lot more to dive into, so let's dive right back into this. All right, coming right back into this. Now, going through the unboxing here, it does have a J card on top, which I did like. It says the 25th anniversary edition. And I'll be honest, there's a reason why I bought the Steelbook on this, and I'll touch on this for a minute. Between the Steelbook edition and the regular edition with a slipcover, you're looking at about a $3 difference in price. So the Steelbook, you're looking at about $25. And I will tell you, available everywhere. And I will have the Amazon link directly below for this, as I said before, but getting tired of the exclusive Steelbooks to only certain retailers. I really want them released everywhere so it's easier to get a hold of. And in this case it is, which is very appreciative because this is only 25 bucks, which is great. Because compared to some of the other Steelbooks I've been buying and collecting, as most of you know too, I've seen them $49.99. And I think it's getting a little out of hand with the price of some of those Steelbooks. So I'm happy to announce this Steelbook's only 25 bucks. So if you wait for it to come back in stock at the retailers, like the link I listed below will have it, the nice thing is you don't have to have the case at all. Paramount Studios announced that basically because of all the delays and manufacturing issues, they printed a bunch of these, but at the time they didn't think it was going to sell or people were going to pre-order this as much as they thought. So what happened was they printed so many thinking it was enough. It wasn't, which is great news for physical media. And I will touch on this as well. A lot of the times I see these like scam videos out there saying physical media is dead or physical media is dead. The data from this year versus last year, it's increased by 15 million by people that aren't true collectors and don't really care about physical media other than to get clicks and watches. And that's something that really irritates me a lot of the time. Because as a physical media collector, I see a lot more often, a lot of these selling out and these companies having to reprint over. Don't fall into the hype or be baited into clicking in those videos that constantly say things like that, because all that is 50, 60 bucks. There will be more in stock of this. Paramount has guaranteed that. So don't wait $3. You can do that. That's about $22. This is $25. In my opinion, this Steelbook is just downright, and not meaning to offend anybody, but it's just downright sexy. It is a glossy, if you can see how glossy that is, and the knife has, what a steal of a deal. Now the J card on it here comes off. I'll show you on the back here. It does have pictures of the cast. It talks about that they have a brand new special feature on here, a Bloody Legacy Scream 25 years later, which I always appreciate that Paramount added a brand new special feature for this release. And it does have audio commentaries, production featurettes, behind the scenes, and question and answers with cast and crew. It does come with a digital copy, so you can play it through iTunes, Movies Anywhere. It does come with the digital copy included in this. And then this slipcover does come off. On the back here, it has a really nice, do you like scary movies? And it's playing on that in this movie, it was very much kind of like a mocking and almost kind of making fun of the phone that she drops in the beginning. On the side, it's really nice. It says Scream on the side, 4K Ultra HD. And this is what the front looks without the J card. But the Steelbook is really, really good looking. And for only $3 more, I think it's a steal of a deal. Now, getting inside here, inside you will have right here your digital copy code. I took mine out so I could show you. In here, it's got Drew Barrymore's about the movie on here. And then behind the disc, it just has a continuation of the photo over here. Now on the 4K in here, it is on a BD66. I wish they would have used a BD100. I've always said I really like those BD100s just because you never have to worry about them there really isn't too many special features shoved on it either. That it did have plenty of room for the 2160p. And as you're noticing above with the screenshots above that I've been showing you, those are all from this 4K release, and it does look great. There was some interesting things I noticed on this for the 4K release, and it's a native 4K 2160p with the scan they even compare. And this is where it's one of those things that even what I'm showing you, keep in mind, these are just the algorithm to do HDR10, HDR10 Plus, or Dolby Vision. So what you're seeing up there is just your standard HDR that's being displayed. So when you play this on your home TV with HDR10 or Dolby Vision, wow, it has so much more even life and depth than what you're even seeing above. So overall, it does look outstanding, and it didn't have any hiccups or issues when I was playing it. Played seamlessly without any issues. I didn't have any problems when I was playing it. No audio as well. Now, as I said, price-wise, I would suggest picking up the Steelbook. Now, if you can't get it or you get impatient and you only see the regular edition in stock and you want to pick for the Steelbook. Now, it is a little odd that they're doing this only with the 4K disc and there is no Blu-ray disc included in this, but I understand it because of the price-wise of what they're releasing this at. They're $35 and above. So you saved yourself roughly $10 or more just by getting it with the 4K disc because there's only the 4K disc in it and not a Blu-ray. So I understand what Paramount's doing and I'm okay with it because, to be honest with you, I love this 4K that I'm showing you. Doesn't give you a comparison when you see it in person. There's no comparison at all to that previous Blu-ray release. This release of Scream, what Paramount did for the 25th anniversary, what I'm providing and showing you is the closest accurate representation to what I see when I play these discs, so that way you are getting a good comparison between the two of them. I always show you the screenshots based on what copies I personally have. And just like what I talked about in my recent Misery video, I always tell you, if you want to see this for yourself to see exactly what it is that I'm doing and what I see, get the copy of the Blu-ray that I'm showing you. Then use your 4K copy, use the same scene. Play that same scene in your 4K, take it out, put the Blu-ray in, play that exact same scene. You will see exactly the same thing that I'm showing you in those screenshot comparisons. Now I will touch on this. It has taken me to perfect that, which has taken me many years, which is why what I do, again, takes me so much time and work to make sure I'm providing you the best accurate representation that I possibly can. So this release gets a 9.8. Highly, highly recommend this as a must-buy. If you're anything about this movie, just like I said with Misery, this is a must-buy. I would wait for it to come back in stock. Keep checking that link down below and buy this copy because, man, was this an outstanding job by Paramount. And I really hope they continue to do this by releasing these Steelbooks available at all retailers, so that way we can get them at like 20, 25 bucks. I love adding a good deal. Highly, highly recommend. This is a must-buy. You got to add this 4K to your collection because blows that Blu-ray out of the water. There's not even a comparison. I mean, honestly, I was looking through the screenshots and I was doing the comparison between the Blu-ray and the 4K as I was going through, and man, I was laughing the whole time. My wife was laughing because it was like, man, you can't even compare the original Blu-ray release to this. Down in the comment section below, I love to hear from all of you. I had a fun time today. Let me know if you were excited about this release, and if based on what you've seen, you're excited to pick this up. If you're gonna pick up this release, I ask that you please go down to the description section links right below this video, because it does help support the channel and helps me to keep being able to do this, because it does take me a lot of time and a lot of work. So as always, when you click through those links below, there's no extra charge for you, but that does help just support the channel a little bit. It does help me to keep providing you all of the forward to the next big review that I have coming out real soon.